and welcome to Tuesday Talk. We have lots to do tonight, and you can help me celebrate my birthday. So, um, we don't talk too much about that because, girls getting old. But anywho, here's what we're doing. We are painting this chair. Well, it's a shelf that we've repurposed from a chair. So I want you to take a look at it. So, whenever your chairs that you have are kind of falling apart, think about cutting them up and doing something different with them. So that's what I did with this one. And this is the kind that has this thing. So I just unscrewed it, and then I was able to just cut all those rungs off. Then I just added a piece of board, a little piece of pine board, and then screwed this back on and used wood glue for the rest of it. So I have another one here that I'm going to show you, but let's get started painting this, and then we'll talk some more. I'm not going to worry about painting the bottom right now, just for the simple fact of setting it down, but I will want to paint it later because when this is done, it'll get a hanger on the back, and this is the part that'll be up against the wall. Okay, so that's going to be our shelf. So we're going to want to make sure, because if you see it from underneath, obviously you're going to want that part painted. But we're just not going to worry about it right now. So what I'm painting this one with, and I'll put the screen down. I'm not exactly sure what else we're going to do with it, because I hope you can see this. This is a pressed back chair, so it has a design in it. But it's been painted so many times that actually some of the design I think might be lost. And I'm definitely not going to strip and sand this thing to get that detail back. Not going to happen. So that's why we're going to paint it. Might try wet distressing it. Hey Kathleen, how are you? And then we'll see what we decide to do beyond that. So I'm going to lay it down and put the screen down, and then we'll get started painting. I have some other things here. So we have another chair to do. That's good. That's good. So kind of excited to share some news that I got today. I'm going to be a grandma again for the third time. That was my birthday surprise. So it was quite a surprise. I was really shocked and excited. So that's my news I'm sharing. Thank you. Okay, I am using Silk Anchor, and this detail might come back. Facebook, I'll have to remember to pull this down, and if you come on, feel free to say hi. Yeah, the detail actually might show up on this, so I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with it, but I'm definitely seeing more detail than I was before. The other chair that we're going to be doing, I do know what we're going to do with that one. We are going to do the paint inlays again on that one. I'm going to use the chintz with the roses. I am using the other one, I forget, one of the other ones, I forget what it's called. I'm still new to these, and again, I'm still hoping that I carry them in the shop again. But I'm using one on a desk I'm painting, and it's really turning out nicely. If you saw the part 1 video, then you've seen it. I know Kathleen saw it because she commented on it before, but the part 2 will be out this week. So trying to make this so you guys both can see. So I'm painting the chair part as well as the raw wood shelf. So just painting it all out. We'll get a coat on this, and then we'll switch it and do work on our other chair. I hope you all are getting to enjoy the summer. can't believe it's already, past the summer solstice. So, now I always, kind of mark the summer with the passing of today, my birthday, and then the next thing is my husband and I's anniversary on July 2nd, and then of course the 4th of July, and then it just seems like summer just flies after that. My grandson's birthday is in August, and then, like I said, it just all seems to start flying after that. So I probably am not painting with very imaginative colors, but I have been so busy trying to get the shop together that I just kind of have been using what I have here. So I've had this brush in a bag for for a couple weeks, and I'm just going with it. So I finally got my storage shed cleaned out today, the second one. So now all that stuff's at the shop, so I'll be putting all that away. And very, very soon, we'll be having that grand opening or open house celebration. And I hope everybody comes and checks the place out once we have it completely together. It's been it's been a process. But again, we're on 814 Green Avenue in Altoona, so very, very environmentally friendly. And if you're from this area, then 814 is our area code. So I just think that address was just meant to be for me. So is everybody painting now or working on things at the home around your house, or is it too hot? I've had, my regular people that come in for paint. So I know I have people that are always painting, but how about you guys? Are you doing any crafty things right now? Too hot, huh? How hot is it there, Kathleen? You're in Texas. I'm sure it's bad because it's hot here in central Pennsylvania. I know, I've been hearing everybody say about how hot it is. 92. Hey, Courtney, thank you. Courtney wished me happy birthday. Yeah, 92. Well, it's about that here. So, not quite. I think it's supposed to get into the 90s possibly tomorrow. But it's been high 80s. Last couple days we had a little bit of a break, but anyway, it's been a hot summer, but I'm not complaining because when the snow flies, I'll wish for these days. Actually, wish we were back at the beach. That got a little abbreviated with the COVID, so. That's one thing I hope I don't have times 3. Times 2 is enough for that. I'll take 3 grandbabies, but I am painting a shelf that is repurposed from a chair. So we are going to paint the bottom later, but I'm not worried about it too much tonight, just because for ease of getting it done here. 104. Yeah, that's a lot. And then it's not very humid there though, is it? It's kind of dry, right? Hey, Haley. Thank you. Haley, you might have missed my announcement if you just are turning on. Maybe you saw it, but I'm gonna be a grandma again. Baby number 3. Riker, they're hanging out with you? My birthday is going great. Thank you. Yeah, Courtney, like I said, just found out I'm going to be a grandma again, so that's a pretty cool birthday present. I don't think they planned it that way, but worked out that way. And other than that, my husband baked me a cake. I did, do some work, which was fine. It's all good, but we were, closed today, so thank you. Little man lost his pics today, and his birthday is Saturday. Ah, okay, he had his pics taken today. Yes, that is wonderful news. But yeah, oh, cool. I'll be anxious to see his pictures. So lots of detail in the back here that I'm painting, but once we get this one painted, we'll set it aside. This is the Silk all-in-one mineral paint. Hey Karina, thank you. It's been a really great birthday. I've had so many happy birthday wishes, it's awesome. But I'm using the Silk all-in-one mineral paint. So this has a built-in sealer. So I might try to wet distress a little bit with it, but it's a little tricky with this because you can't let it dry too much because that sealer starts to dry up. Riker's hanging here with you, and we'll send you a pic after the aftermath. He looks like he would have been hanging out with you painting at the store. Aw. Hello, Aaron. And I missed the comment above it, so if someone comments again, I'll see it again, because YouTube comments disappear after a few minutes, so they'll come back though. If someone else comments, I'll be able to see the comment before it. But I love upcycling these chairs. I have had so many chairs hanging around at the shop, so many of them, that it was kind of ridiculous. And I started inspecting them and thinking, because I had to make some room because of cleaning out this storage shed. So I just thought, I'm going to check everything out for stability, and found so many that, really weren't stable to paint as chairs. So that's when I got my jigsaw out and just started chopping them up. And I love to sell those. Your husband and daughter is July 2nd. Oh, okay. All right. Now my parents are both passed away, but I was born on their 12th anniversary. So today would have been their 75th anniversary. So they're celebrating in heaven. Pretty sure about that. Okay, I'm almost done with the back here, guys. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but don't know any other way to do it. The paint seems to be drying so quickly these days with this weather. And I do have the air conditioner on. I hope you guys can hear me okay, but I had to turn it away though, because I said to my husband, you're either cooking or you turn the air on and it's really loud and then it's kind of like blasting you. So we don't have central air. We just have one in the window, and it happens to be in that window beside me. Almost done here. I'm about ready to come around the side here. I should put the screen down a little bit. I think YouTube's down. I think you guys are both down a little bit. I don't want to touch it, but I'm gonna have to eventually here. Okay, let's see over here. Missed that side. All right. Okay, I'll put the screen up a second so you can see what we've got. So as you can see, there's some detail up here, up at the top, and we're going to try to distress it back. So for the time being, I'm going to put this chair down and bring up the other one that I have. So it's time for the chair switcheroo. And I'm going to get paint all over me one way or the other, I think. So I'm just going to go for it here real quick. And hope that stays up. And also hope I don't get paint on the carpet. I have a paper thing here, but it doesn't want to stay. Okay, hopefully I got that. Excuse me 1 second here. I got paint on the rug. Okay, had to take care of that. And of course I have paint on me. It wouldn't be a normal day if I didn't have paint on me. So I'm going to bring my other chair up, but I want to show you this. So remember, now this is going on 2 weeks. I've been working on these little tin can things with the IOD molds, and then I put a little transfer on that one. So I'll probably put something in it or put a little thing to hang, but then the other one did a little transfer in that one too, and I just used a stamper to do a little distressing around there on the details. And for those of you that haven't seen it, here's what the paint inlay looks like that I'm going to be using tonight. This is the chintz. So this was on, I used that on the Anchor, which is the all-in-one mineral paint. And they actually don't recommend that you use an all-in-one paint with the paint inlays because of the sealer. So remember last week I tried that and it didn't work so well. So I'll have to show you that project too, but it's way over there and I'm gonna wait. So let me bring this other chair up here. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can see, hopefully, and not knock anything over. Okay, so this one doesn't have any detail up here or here. It's just plain. However, the seat on this one was flat, so it was still connected to the seat. So all I did was chop off the chair. So I just used my jigsaw and just did a straight line right across the chair seat. So that is the actual seat of the chair that we just chopped off. And again, we put a little hanger on the back of it, and it just hangs. And you can do whatever you want with these. You can hang hooks on them for towels or whatever. So just, use your imagination, and depending on the chair, some of them have, maybe it's the seat that you're going to use, and they have rungs, so you can flip it over the other way and use the rungs on it for towels or something in the bathroom. So just try to use your imagination. Now I'm going to set the chair aside for a second because I want to look at these, well, I guess I shouldn't set it that far aside. We're still going to need it. Kid timeout chair, that's a good idea, Aaron. Yep, just the right size. Okay, so here's how these inlays come. They're in sheets, and I've been using these sheets for a while. There's some that I haven't even gotten into yet, okay? So they come with 8 in the package. That's the front cover, but there's 8 sheets, and it makes up this whole pattern. Now, I'm not too particular about matching it up because it's such a, what I call a ditzy floral, you know. You can match it up, of course. If I were doing a big piece of furniture, I probably would. But on a little thing like this, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. But I have learned this, when you're using them, you want to be prepared. So we want to kind of cut our little template out so that I have it ready, because you lay this into wet paint. So, so you can see this is the one that I used last week. It didn't work so well, but you can use these over and over again. So you can see some of the blue paint that came off on there, but we're going to work on it again and use it again. So, so you can cut them up and fit them onto things. So again, let me put this screen down. Sorry, I don't want to lose everything here. Pardon my hand. I'm always putting my hand in front of YouTube. Okay, so let's just, I'm just going to cut this across here. I'm just kind of using my finger. There's grid lines on here, so I can see where to cut. And this other little piece I'll probably be able to use. It's kind of perfect width. I'll probably be able to use this guy like right here. Or maybe up here. I know you can't see that up there. But I'll make sure you see it whenever we use it. Okay. I guess I'll cut this out here. So we have more of a kind of a pattern, I guess. So these paint inlays, they're actually paint on here. So if you see this side of it, if you feel it, you can feel the dried paint on there. But what happens is when you lay it into the wet paint, it reactivates that paint. So it then kind of works with the other paint and just makes that design on your piece. So like I said, you want to check out on the YouTube channel the piece of furniture that I'm doing for Saturday's video, and I did part 1 on last Saturday's. Okay, so that's what that size is like. That's what we're going to use on there. And then let's see this other piece. I'm going to lay this down so you guys can see it. So we have that, and we have this. I think now that I see it, it's better suited to put it down here. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the end, because they have sort of like a border around them, and you kind of want to get rid of that. No, this is actually, Aaron, these are IOD, and Kathleen, they're IOD, and I purchased these at a store called the Shabby Loft in Melbourne, Florida. But I am considering becoming a stockist, becoming a stockist for IOD. So I may be selling them on my website and also in my store. And I did, and my website is lavintagedecor.company. I did actually apply, so I'm waiting to hear whether they accept me or not. So. And of course, it's a little bit of an investment, so I still have to think about it a little bit, but I figured I'd go ahead and apply. That'll probably help me make a decision. Okay, so I have that laying there. Oh, well, obviously I have it the wrong side up. It's going to be laying down because that has to match. Yeah, I can't imagine why either, Kathleen, because I don't think anyone around here sells it. I've checked, and it's pretty far away. that, anyone else that in Pennsylvania here that sells it. Okay, this is gonna work out great. So I'm just kind of using my fingers to crease this a little bit. Anybody that knows me, I hate the sound of rattling paper. It's not bad if I'm doing it, but if someone else is doing it, it drives me insane. So sometimes like things like this, even though I am doing it, I go a little crazy. Might also be an opportunity to do in-store classes. Yes, Erin. Yes, for sure. That's on my list, and every time I see something that sparks my thought process with classes, I take a note of it. Oh, do the IOD sisters, they live in Texas? I knew they lived out west, but I wasn't exactly sure where. Sally and Josie. I know they're... I was a stockist for them before. So, yeah, so anyway, Erin, I am like writing down every time I think of something. And, okay, Austin. I'm thinking of doing a stamped jeans class, all kinds of things with molds, like initials, like, because I have all kinds of vintage letters. I'm a hoarder, so I have all these things. So I think we'll definitely have some fun with it. And I just feel like that's the way to sell it, And I think, I'll try to make it so that my classes include whatever we're working with. So that's my plan. Okay, so I cut these little notches out, and I'm never going to throw away any of these scraps, no matter how small they are, because I work with Dawn. We do the vintage forged, and we do earrings. So, anything small I can always use. Okay, so now that I have made these, oh yeah, definitely a lot of people got creative during COVID. We did classes like online and stuff. Yes, one of them is married to Erin. Yeah, we did some classes where we delivered the kits to people's porches, and then they invited them to a Facebook page. So, yeah, we got creative in that way, too. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this laying down until I get to the seat. So I'm going to start with the top here. So you can see there's just one coat. Facebook, I guess you can't see, so I'll move this down. I'm going to move it, angle a little bit in. Oh, no, Kathleen. No. That darn COVID, it needs to go away. It really needs to go away. Okay, so I'm putting a second coat of paint just on this back part here. A year old, and Haley's little boy on Facebook over here, he had it too not too long ago. Okay, so once you put it down in the paint, you want to kind of flatten it with your hand, and then you want to take a mister bottle, or you can do a wet rag, but then you just want to kind of spray it. And you really want to pay attention to make sure that you're putting the paint side down. This is going to be so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to move this up a little. So you guys can see this part. I'm going to move that out of the way, so I don't want to get paint on it. Like a temporary tattoo, yeah. Oh, he's 3 years old, Kathleen. It is, only it's permanent, Erin. Okay, well, that's a tough one, Kathleen, the vaccine. It's tough, for when they're that little. I don't know how I feel about it either, honestly. It's it's tough. Here I had 2 vaccines and got it twice, so don't know what to believe. Okay, so again, I put the paint side down. You can see the big difference between there where I wet it again and then here. So again, we're gonna mist this and re-wet it. So this is activating all that paint. This is gonna be so cute. Okay, while I have the chair laying down here, I saw most of your message there. I'll see it again when another one comes up. Like I said, YouTube messages, they disappear until another person says something, and then they come back up. And then I have to be fast enough to read them. So I'm just kind of doing some of this other stuff while I have it laying down. I probably shouldn't, so I can touch it still, but I'll touch everything up later. This one's going to be a cutie. Oh, no, Kathleen. It was a tough decision to do it. Okay. Oh, that is very sad. I actually know a few people, too, that passed away from COVID. All right, so now we're on to the seat. So again, they don't recommend that you use a paint with a sealer in it, an all-in-one paint. They recommend that you use a chalk or a clay type paint. So I'm actually using up, I know I'm a Dixie Belle girl, but I'm actually using up the DIY paint that I had to try when I was on vacation. I just picked it up because I had never used it. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to see what this is all about. And then Dixie Belle's coming out with a clay-based paint as well called Terra. Terra, like terra firma. Okay. I'm a little off here. Like I have extra over here. Try to pull it back so you can see. I have a little extra over here and then a little short here. It's okay. This is going to be very forgiving, I think. Okay, so I have it pressed down in here. What paint do you use now, Kathleen? Okay, so now what we did is we re-wet it, and now we're going to let it dry. So I'm going to set that aside, and then we're going to bring the black chair up here and see what we're going to do with that. I'm going to put my brush away first. But yeah, when I saw this rose chintz, I used chalk couture. I never tried that. Like I said, when you have paint at your disposal all the time, that's the paint you use. It's the paint you sell, so you promote it. And I do love Dixie Belle paint. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to sell the Terra, because I just have both lines, and especially if I invest in the IOD right now, I don't know, might hold off a little bit. Okay. So my black chair, I'm sticking to the paper. You're dying to do a small table covered in dot art mandalas. Oh, that sounds really cool. Now you would freehand that? I am such a dummy. I laid wet paint down on a paper towel. I laid the back of that chair down. So, I have sandpaper here somewhere that I will get the back of this chair with, but I'm going to pull this one back up. Freehand with a plan. That sounds cool. Very cool. You'll have to look me up on Facebook or on Instagram and send a picture of that. I'd love to see that. Okay, so now we have the black chair, and you can see that we have the detail kind of showing. So I was kind of afraid we were going to lose the detail here. So that being said, I actually brought molds home to do, because I thought that might be cool, like to put it in here and then just leave this flourish over here. Let's see what we get with a little wet distress. So I just have a wet paper towel here, and I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I'm trying to get through to some of that old paint here. We're getting a little bit of it. Yeah, we're getting a little distress here. Not sure if I like it. Not 100% sure yet on that. I think I might put a mold on it. Because usually, you know, it's the opposite way. You put the black down first and then a lighter color and let that come through. But we can do the opposite. I kind of like it. You'll have to let me know what you think. I'll hold it up here in a second. I know you can see what I'm doing, but so you have to try a little bit harder with the all-in-one paint. So you can see here that a lot of that detail has gone away. So yeah, let's just go a little crazy and let's do a mold there. So I'm gonna set this one down again for the time being, and we'll get our mold out here. So I am using the DOS clay, paper clay, which again I'll probably switch over to the IOD air dry clay, but for now that's what I have. So I was thinking, so these are both IOD molds, so I had to have both of these as soon as I saw them. The picture frame and then the cameo one, because I do a lot of jewelry too, and I just knew that I wanted this cameo, and this one's just cool for boxes or whatever. So so on that piece, I'm thinking of doing this mold, but I'm also gonna make this. I'm wondering if that might fit in there, and that might be pretty cool to lay that mold inside there. So I do have some cornstarch here. Now I have found that depending on what kind of clay you use, that it'll either release without using the cornstarch, but for the most part, it'd be better safe than sorry. The oval frame will be perfect. Yeah, I think that's gonna fit right in there. And who knows, maybe they designed it that way. Okay, so you're just dusting that cornstarch in there. Yeah. Okay. Yes, definitely better safe than sorry, huh, Kathleen? Okay. Now, the next time I put this away, I'm going to put it in a plastic bag. because I can feel the edge of this kind of got a little dried. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Erin, putting the Cameo inside it. So we're going to give it a whirl anyway. Yeah, the end of that got a little bit hard, so I'm definitely putting it in a plastic bag. So just warming the clay up in my hand a little bit. Yeah, this piece is dry. Oh, look at that. You know, I'm going to set this aside, but I will probably not get rid of that. As a matter of fact, that might be cool in there just by itself, but I'll probably do it the right way. But I like stuff like that has an irregular edge like this, because you can put it on anything and it just looks like a piece of broken pottery or something. So sometimes, you know, things like that are happy accidents. Use some bronze rub on the Cameo. Yeah, that would be cool. Because I distressed it, you know, I'm kind of doing the, you know, the distressed, I guess, look, you know. So I am not 100% sure, you know, because sometimes that's like kind of glitzy and glammy, but that might not be a bad idea. I also I had to try this making powder. Maybe we can throw a little bit of that on there and see what happens. That is a DIY product as well, and I never tried it, and I always thought it looked pretty cool. But we'll have to see what it looks like. Alright, so I have more clay this time, and it's definitely softer, so I think this is going to work better. Okay, I have a lot of clay in there. But the IOD ones have this micro rim. Is the mica powder, well, I guess different companies make mica powder. I think Taryn from Elegant Upgrades, I think she uses Chalk Couture. Or does she use Chalk Mountain? I'm not sure. Okay, grabbing some more clay here and doing the frame. Better to have more clay than what you need than less. Because it always seems to me whenever I end up adding on to a mold that it just cracks there or something, so. Okay, so let's remove this excess. Remember when Annie Sloan was, yes, that's for sure. And Annie Sloan has the corner on the market as far as the word chalk paint. You'll see chalk style paint, or Dixie Belle says chalk mineral paint. You know, because they had actually, I guess, patented the phrase chalk paint. I don't know whether that's still in effect or not, but so a lot of companies call it something else, chalk style paint or whatever, but so that's the scoop on that. All right. Taryn, Chalk Mountain Girl, yes. Yes, it is, Aaron. It's pretty much all the same stuff. I love Taryn's work. Oh my gosh, she is so talented. This is so soft and smooth. That would be really pretty to decoupage on. Okay, well let's see if this fits. So that came out really pretty. I love the detail in there. I think that one's beautiful. All right, so I'm presuming that would be the top. So let's just see if she fits in there. Yeah, she really does. She's amazing. Pretty good. This fits in there pretty good. I like it. Okay, so I am using tacky glue because that's what's here. I'm going to put some down on the frame, and then I'm going to put some around the edges um, of the cameo as well. So I just want to make sure that stays on there. That's probably going to take a while to dry. 2 layers. No, Aaron, you actually don't. Now, normally what you do, you can put it on and paint right over it because it'll get a little bit hardened, but you don't want to press in with your brush too hard. But yeah, it all dries at once. Now, I've never layered like this, so I'm thinking this might, kind of take a long time to dry, but you'd be surprised. It'll go pretty quickly. But again, this part is experimental. But hey, I always do my experiments. Always do my experiments on lives, so. Okay. So I like, I don't mind you guys seeing me screw up. I like it when you see my successes. And lots of times I'm always telling you, well, we'll finish this off camera. We'll check my Instagram for the update. By the way, I do want to show you one of those sap buckets that I finished, that I screwed up last week. All right. Yeah, I never, well, actually, I'm lying. I did try that chalk paint from Walmart just because a client had it and she wanted the color matched, so I did use it, and it wasn't too terrible based on what I was doing, but I wouldn't want to paint a whole piece of furniture with it. Okay, so there's how that looks in there. So let's get our chair up here. And play around with this a little bit. Let me see, Facebook. You cannot see. Ooh. Almost screwed that up there. There we go. Yeah, I like that. It just, gives it a little more dimension. And you painted a rocking horse with the Walmart paint or your Chalk Mountain paint? I'd like to see that too. So I want to use a good amount of glue here. Find inhale to prime over scuff sanding if you use the cheaper stuff. Oh, that's all right. Sometimes uh, it isn't my typing, sometimes my mouth isn't working. My brain and my mouth aren't, going at the same pace. Okay, so I'm just gonna spread this glue out to the end. You want to make sure your edges are good. You could also use the two-part epoxy, but you'd want to catch that while it's still, right after it comes out of the mold. So while it's still damp and a little bit, not damp, but a little bit flexible. Well, the good news is, the chair, well, I'm probably going to have to use the hairdryer on the chair. It's sitting here, it's not really drying that well. I have it on the floor, and the air conditioner's not hitting it. I thought it would dry up, but I really saturated it, so we'll just dry it with the blow dryer. We're gonna get something done tonight. You're gonna see that peeling. Okay, so the best thing to do here with this, I can paint over it when it's wet, but I want to let that just kind of like get a little bit of a crust on it so that I don't ruin the detail when I put my brush in it. So we're going to set this guy aside. I'm going to leave it laying flat too so that I don't, so it doesn't shift down if I stand it up. Okay, yeah, let's set that aside. All right, let's bring our little chair back up here. And so that one that I got out of the mold earlier, if you could feel this now, it's like real dried off. So this would be the state that you'd want to paint that in. But now the back of it, where I had it laying down, is still damp. But it all just does dry together. You want to paint it because you don't want it to dry off. You definitely want to like glue it on before that. Use a hairdryer on high heat held close to your chalk paint does a cool distress look. Yeah, sometimes it does. I know, like, people that use milk paint, I know they get a real chippy look whenever they use the heat gun. So pardon the noise. I usually lose people when I put the hairdryer on, but we have to do it so we get to see this. You can kind of see it gets real light as it dries. So the benefit of using this Inlays or using a rub-on transfer. Um, Boy, to answer your question about that, they're just different, I would say. The inlay is definitely not going to give you the look of a transfer, like the that halo that they get around them. Although you can certainly sealing a transfer and distressing a transfer a little bit with sandpaper gets rid of that. But this paint inlay is just kind of a whole different animal because it's actually paint, so it's going to be a whole different surface because it's all paint. So you can get a little more texture with this. So it's kind of a little more natural, I would say. I love transfers though. Okay, Kathleen. Good seeing you. Yes, Aaron, they are more custom because you can, well, I mean, you can cut transfers up however you want as well. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Always good seeing you. Always appreciate you. But yeah, it's just totally different. Usually transfers don't have this kind of like a repetitive design. They're usually one large motif. All right, we're getting there. This feels pretty dry. That feels pretty dry, and so does that. Woohoo! Okay, so now that we have it dry, we're gonna wet it again. But this is the fun part. So make sure you guys can both see. So we're gonna start up here, and we're gonna wet it again. This time we're wetting it so that we can peel the paper off in one piece without it tearing. So I'm looking now for a strategic place to lay these after I peel them. I suppose it's what design you like and the texture and the price that you'd have to consider. That is true. These are a little pricier, although transfers can be expensive too. The good thing about these is you can get several uses out of them. Now every time you use it, it's going to be a little more faded. Oh, look at that. I always want to play da 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 da. You know the stripper song? Oh wow, I love it. And I kind of love that it's getting faded, because this is the second time I used that one. So that's really cool. I want to sop up some of this water that is laying on there though. Even better for distressed pieces, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I do love it. No denying. Okay, maybe I won't add quite as much water this time. I say as I saturate it. I just want to make sure that it comes off and it doesn't rip. And it's, to me, okay if it doesn't all come off. That distressed look is what I'm going for on this piece, I think. With this, I am in love with this. Okay, I'm going to put this one up this way. Spray it. Alright guys, here we go. Will they lay flat again? Yeah, they will. They don't dry like hard or crinkly, they just dry really nice. So yeah, I on that desk I used a couple sheets like three times I think. So they dried really nicely. And I have found that if you get wrinkles in it, it gives it a little more texture as well. Okay, now I did rip that paper a tad, but that's okay. It's just a little piece. Pardon me, I'm just laying down this paper to dry. I just want to make sure it's flat. Sorry, I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up a second. Put the cameras up so you can see it. Here comes Grizz. Sorry, having trouble moving that. All right. Look at this. This is so cute. I love it. I really, really love it. I might do some white wax in here, or I might just do some distressing with sandpaper. But it's definitely a cute little piece. I just love it. So, we got that guy done. Set this down here. Yes, I do seal that. Did you see that? For whatever reason, it shows like that there's no one watching. So I was surprised that you were still there. I thought you left. I don't get many watchers on my lives, but I get watches later, so I don't know. Okay, so we're putting this back in. Let me put the screen down again. Okay, so this is it's still a little bit soft, but we're going to go ahead and put some paint on it. Thank you, Sandy. I hope to be selling those paint inlays soon at the shop, so I'll let you know soon. Just chilling, doing your nails. Cool. I love to just put a YouTube video on no matter what I'm doing. I really enjoy it. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to very softly brush over this. YouTube and a glass of wine. There you go. Sometimes, well, my husband travels a lot in the fall and the winter, and that's basically all I watch is YouTube. I'll watch a few things on Netflix, but I'm a YouTube person. I love to watch paint videos. Glasses. Multiple. Now what I can do with this to kind of match what I did there is actually dry brush with that color of paint, like that kind of, I'm going to find another color that sort of matches what the undercoat was on this. And then I can sort of make it look cohesive. So again, I'm just trying to get the paint down in the detail without squishing the detail. So it may need another coat around there. And I'm kind of just going to go back around some of the other areas. I'm not going to go back over what I distressed, but I just want to put a little bit of paint, a little bit more paint on there. And I'll definitely come back and finish this up some more, but just wanted to do this for you guys tonight. And I'll be finishing them up. They'll be probably for sale in the shop. And I might even put these little guys on Etsy. So like I said, still gonna finish up with those. But let me set this up so you can see it, and then we'll show you the other one again. And that will be it. We'll call it a night. We were on a little over an hour tonight, so sometimes I, take on too many projects and we don't get it all done. But I figured I would just stick with this. There's another little cutie chair at the shop as well that I cut apart, and it's a totally different situation. Yeah, I'll definitely do dry brush in there. Sorry, can't get myself adjusted crooked. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up so you can see this one. Okay, so the cameo obviously is wet, but, put dry brushing in there, and perhaps, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to stick with that kind of distressed look a little bit, maybe do some more like on the rungs and stuff, because that color will come back through. But I don't know whether I want to do anything like as far as, glitzy or gilding. So probably just kind of keep these guys both on the rustic side. So I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to bring up this other one again. And this is my fave, no doubt. Yeah, it will go with any decor. But this one's very specific for somebody that likes the shabby chic, or not farmhouse, but cottage, style. So I have to admit, I'm in love with this one. All right, well, and if you can see, there's a whole lot of texture in there from the wrinkled areas. So I love that. Yes, this would be adorable in a nursery. That would be really cute. And you could put little hooks up here, that way you can hang things. I can see diapers and, their little powder or whatever, or a little stuffed animal on there. That would be cute. And we're having a baby. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight and sharing my birthday with me and sharing my good news with you. Or you sharing it with me, whatever. So, and I haven't had any wine, but maybe I should. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Erin. And, it's not me having the baby. It's grandchild, third grandchild. Okay, I'm a little too old for that. That ship has sailed for me. So again, thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys and see you the next time. You too. Have a great night. Bye-bye.